That's dope. That's dope.
What's going on, guys? It's Wick here. Scott can't join us today, but I've got a full show ahead of us. So today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Is the bottom in? Okay, once we've done that, we're going to go over the indicators a little bit, explain that to you, some setups that are coming, and I'm also going to explain stage analysis to you. After that, we're going to look at a little bit of ISM, which is liquidity. There's some good things about liquidity that are starting to happen. I believe it just takes a little bit to play through the market, which could play out very well with the September down months that we have. Then we're going to move on to Sol. There's two different setups on Sol on different time frames. We're going to end with a little bit of stocks, and then of course finish it off with the Trading Alpha Screener. I'll find a live setup for you guys today. Okay. So getting started here, guys, we're on the Bitcoin weekly chart. Okay, I consider this the macro time frame chart. Let me go ahead and enlarge the screen. Okay, so what do we have here, guys? Again, every candle represents 1 week, okay? And just flipping right to where we currently are, we have a reversal candle printing. Okay, so it's printing right at the bottom of what we call a megaphone pattern. Okay, this is not a good pattern to see. But here with this reversal, I'm hoping that this could be the technical catalyst, the setup to get us to the upper range of the megaphone, which would be around $66,000, $67,000. Okay, so watching for that setup, what we do need to see after this week is we need to see one of the next 2 weeks close above the wick of the signal bar, the wick of the reversal bar, or we need to see one of the next few candles print a green dot. Okay, either one of those will be a confirmation to the setup. And again, I think that we shoot to the upside. It's exactly what happened over here. We got our confirmation shot right to the upside of the megaphone before coming down again. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking for again as we complete this megaphone pattern and hopefully break out to the upside and delineate this megaphone pattern. Okay, so that's what I want to see on the weekly chart. Okay, that said, guys, I think it's overdue for me to kind of explain to you what all goes into the trading alpha, or specifically the alpha trend indicator, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff at play here. What we've done is we've married different types of trade setups. We've married trending setups, which are the dots and the bars. We've also got volatility setups and mean reversion setups. So let's just focus on one today. I'm going to go over the dots. So if that's the case, let me clean it up a little bit. Let me take off the reversal bars. Okay, and we'll just go over the dots today, and I'll show you a very, very good setup that we have with these. And I call this consecutive green dots. Okay, so whenever we go and we have consecutive green dots, it's a very, very good setup. And I'm going to start here from the last cycle, and we'll go back to front. Okay, so here you can see that we have a stage 1 basing, and I'm going to go over this basing as well, because once you understand how to trade trending setups, if you know the bases as well and the stages, it yields a very, very good result as far as trading goes. That's what I do personally. Okay, so starting here, this is the basing phase. We call this stage 1 basing phase. As you can see, we ended up losing green dots after getting a little bit of an uptick from 8,000 all the way up to 12,000, and then we got consecutive green dots here. And look what happened after consecutive green dots. We shot all the way to the upside. Okay, we went from 10,000 all the way to a high, still holding green dots of 64,000. Okay, over here again, consecutive green dots, and we went all the way up, to 52,000, all the way from 44. Again, consecutive green dots, we shot to all-time highs. Okay, so it worked very well in this cycle. Okay, moving forward, same thing. We get consecutive green dots. This pushed us all the way from 21,000 to a high, still holding green dots of 30,000. Okay, so it's worked very, very well in these cycles once you get out of that basing phase, which I'm going to explain to you guys soon. Here again is a stage 3 basing phase. We hit 2 green dots, and this brings us all the way from 30,000, holding green dots the whole time, all the way to a high of 73,000. There's nothing like this in the market, guys. And if we want to back test this even more, we can actually go further. Let's go to something like 2016, 17, or even 15, and we can count the green dots. There's a good break there. Okay, so here we have a stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 starts again. This is your basing phase. You get consecutive green dots here, guys. We go from $620. We hold the green dots the whole time and hit a high here of 1,300. So pretty much 100% return there, okay? After that, we have a break, consecutive green dots. It holds green dots the whole time. So this one goes from, let's call it $1,100, holds green dots the whole time, doesn't stop, 1,100 all the way to 19,000, right? So that's almost a 19x, okay? So you can see that trending setups are very, very valuable. And what I've done is I've incorporated the best trending setup and methods that I could possibly find and come up with. And those are the green dots, okay? They are the micro trend. So the soonest indication of a trend starting. Next, we have the bars, which are your macro trend. And we'll go over that in a later date. But I just wanted to show you the power of the green dots. So here you go into a stage 2 uptrend, a little bit of a basing stage 3, then all the way into stage 4. You can see everything turns red. We're under the track line. You never buy as long as we're under the track line. You can see we get one green dot. There's no consecutive green dots. Drops down again, cuts the price in half. And what do you see? We have a basing phase. I'm going to go over this next. After the basing phase, we get 2 consecutive green dots, and it jumps all the way from 5,000 all the way holding green dots to 13,000. Okay, almost a 3x. So you can see, guys, this is very, very tested and well-versed on Bitcoin, okay? You can see here is a basing phase. We could consecutive green dots. This is probably the smallest return that we've had. And again, it's in a basing phase, okay? I want to see a basing phase, consecutive green dots, and breaking out, okay? Even this right here, okay? You had a little bit of an uptick. Here you go again, green dots and all the way to that 19,000. So that shows you the power of trending setups, okay? Next, I'm going to teach you about the stages. A lot of people ask me about these stages and how they work. Now I'm going to tell you how they work. So let's minimize this. We're going to go to a blank screen, and you're going to watch me do some terrible drawings, okay? But hopefully you can follow along. So we have 4 stages, okay, in a cycle. It starts off with stage 1, and it's your job to identify these stages. Stage 1 is a basing phase. This is when price action has gone from a bear market. It starts to base, it starts to go like this. And just remember this because I'm going to show you a live example of this afterwards. Starts to base, and this is called stage 1. It's simply a consolidation. A lot of times I can tell this consolidation because our track line, the price action starts going above and below this track line, just like it is right here, okay? This is stage 1 though, and then after stage 1, we wait for our breakout into stage 2. This is the mecca that everyone should be trying to catch. This is where you make all of your money, is in these stage 2s, okay? You should be able to outline them as well. So this is your stage 2 uptrend. Stage 1 basing, consolidation, stage 2 uptrend, and we're trying to catch the breakout right here into stage 2. That's the best time to buy on all time frames. That's the best setup you can have, okay? Looking on Bitcoin here, when was our stage 2? Well, let's look at both cycles. Right here, can you guys identify? I know you guys can't talk to me because I'm not watching the comments here, but can you identify the stage 1 in the cycle? Of course, I've outlined it right here. Here's your support of stage 1. Here's your resistance of stage 1. And it keeps hitting the resistance, and it hit the support before a couple of times. And that's how you identify the stage 1. Here's another trick. In stage 1, guys, a lot of times, more often than not, our other technique, our volatility setups, these squeeze shadings will go off in stage 1, letting you know that an extreme move is coming, and you should already be thinking this is the money maker. This is the stage 2 uptrend about to come. The shading is letting you know that volatility is bent up, and volatility needs to be released. Next thing you have from the squeeze shading is a breakout arrow, which pushes us above resistance. This is officially stage 2. There's no better time to buy in any markets than catching this bar right here. And as you can see, after stage 2, we already have green dots. We already have a squeeze shading and a breakout arrow. You couldn't get more confirmation and a green track line. The price is now above the track line, and it just shoots to the upside, okay? So now what is this, guys? I've told you this right here is your stage 2 uptrend, okay? So we go from stage 2 uptrend, and then we start hitting resistance and going like real choppy, right? So this is obviously consolidation. And after stage 2 comes a stage 3. So let's draw that right here. Okay, so now after stage 2, you've made your money you go into a stage 3 basing pattern. Price action starts hitting a resistance, coming down, hitting resistance, touching like this, maybe a little bit like this because it's crypto. Okay, this is your stage 3 basing. So let me tell you what you're supposed to do in stage 3, or a good way to manage stage 3. You're getting really a clinic here, guys. So I hope you can keep up. In stage 3 here, okay, you've already made your money. You've already caught that stage 2. You're patient. You set your alerts on TradingView for our breakout arrow. You saw the squeeze shading. That's how easy it is, guys. You can literally see the squeeze shading. Each one of these is a whole week, and you set an alert for a breakout arrow. As soon as it comes, it sends it to your phone. You get in that position, and you've made all your money. Now stage 3 starts. What do? Once you identify stage 3, it's a good idea to take some risk off the table, right? To de-risk a little bit, because this could, after stage 3, go into a stage 4 downtrend, and that's your bear market. Everything is over. Or it could go into a continuation stage 2 uptrend. A lot of times this happens. It goes stage 2, stage 3, stage 2, stage 3. This happens, right? But you always have to be ready for stage 4. So what a lot of professionals do is in stage 3, they will take 50% of their profits or positions off the table, and they will lock those profits there. The next thing they'll do is they'll set a stop loss. They'll set a stop loss somewhere below the support, right? Let's call it right here, to take the other 50% off the table. So now what happens, John, John Wick, what happens if we go through the stage 3 basing and then all of a sudden it breaks out in this uptrend? Wick, what happens? Now you told me to take 50% off the table. Okay, my other stop loss wasn't hit, but I only got half my position size in here. Well, very simple. You just add your 50% back in on that stage 2 breakout, just like we did in stage 1. You copy the setup right here, and you get in right there. And sure, you might have missed a little bit on this little upside here, but man, you didn't sit through all of this volatility this is the biggest thing that takes people out of markets. This shakes people out more than actual downtrends. Downtrends happen so fast, like this, that most people don't have time to think and they just stay in it, right? But in stage 3, you do have an opportunity not to stay in there and simply just catch that breakout into continuation stage 2. Now, why am I telling you this, guys? Because our indicators are set up to catch these stage 2s. So if you can catch a consecutive green dot that's breaking out into stage 2, that's much better than, let's say, catching a green consecutive dot at the bottom here. Then your risk reward is only small, right up to the resistance. But these breakouts in the stage 2, this is where you should be allocating most of your capital on these positions, on these setups that have confluence between our indicator setups and the stage analysis in stage 2. Okay, and I'm going to go over this on the real charts for you. But again, you would just simply reallocate that 50% and do it all over again. This is the best way to trade markets. And make sure that you don't sit through that 80% drawdown over here. You do not want this smoke. You don't want that. Okay, so now let's flip back to the charts. Now that you know a stage 1 basing, stage 2 uptrend, stage 3 basing, and stage 4 downtrend, and a continuation stage 2. Let's look at the charts and see if we can read this. All right, I'm going to give you guys a chance to look at this here. You got stage 1 we've identified, stage 2. So what happens here? This is obviously stage 3, this consolidation. Should be thinking about taking 50% off the table, setting a stop loss. Prior to this one hit your stop loss, you missed all of this drawdown and you didn't sit through all of these fake outs here, right? But you would have been able to identify that, hey, this is basing. This isn't falling anymore. This is basing. That's another stage 1, guys. So what happens? We get our green dot. You can either go on a green dot because you're watching the stage 2 breakout, or you can follow consecutive green dots, whatever your risk tolerance is. But this is a clear stage 1 to stage 2. Undeniable. Here's your, let me take the magnet off. Here's your level right here for stage 1. Clearly defined. You break above it. You can clearly see this is stage 2. It's closing right above the resistance. And definitely this one with the green dot would confirm for me that this is stage 2. We hold the green dots the whole time. And then we go through a much shorter stage 3 because we've pretty much had 2 cycles in one. And this is what happened here on this 21 cycle. Go through stage 3 right here. Boom, fall below it. You should already be thinking about taking 50% of your position off the table. Boom, we go through it. And now we start getting a squeeze shading, okay? Just like we did here before the large move and just like we did here before the large move. Squeeze shading, red dots, okay? Breaking below the track line, and the track line is red. This should be telling you, okay, we're already in stage 4. This is when you exit all your positions. That last 50% that you didn't take off here, your stop loss is hit, and you stay out of this stage 4. You know it's stage 4. It's a red track line, and you don't buy unless price action goes above the track line no matter what in stage 4. I mean, these are guidelines that you can really, really help yourself to avoid all of this drawdown. Okay, so what do we do? A lot of fake outs. A lot of people get faked out there. They get faked out here, but you don't. Look what ends up happening. A lot of times in stage 1, we start getting our bottom signals. This is meant to go off in stage 1. Okay, but remember, for those of you that follow me, there's ways to confirm the bottom signals, and that is for one of the next 2 bars to close above the wick of the bottom signal. None of these ones did that. Or after bottom signal to have a green dot. So we'd got a bar that closed above the bottom signal wick and a green dot. This was a very clear confirmation that this is the time to get in. If you wanted to wait till stage 2, break above the track line here, right here. Here's stage 2, boom. Okay, we went all the way from 21,000 all the way to a high when we hit the resistance of 30,000. Nice little move. I call this stage 1 part 1. For those of you that were following me on the Solana trade when we got in at $24, you saw my framework here. If you want to go back and look at it, you have your stage 2 part 2, and then your stage 2 part 1, which is minor. And then after that, you'll have your stage 2 part 2. This is my custom breakdown on this stage analysis, okay? So again, we go from stage 2, little basing stage 3. You should be able to clearly identify it. It's even going below and above the track line multiple times. Clearly a basing pattern. You should, consider taking maybe 50% off the table. I didn't right here. I stayed right in. This wasn't big enough move for me to consider doing risk management. And then look, we broke out again from a squeeze shading, letting you know a violent move is coming. Okay, could that be stage 2 breakout? Boom, boom, boom. Breakout arrow right into stage 2. This is the best time to buy if you didn't already buy here, or the best time to add. Now you can see how using our tools with the dots and the track line along with stage analysis and the volatility indicator married together. It's a lot to comprehend, but if you can put this together, guys, there's no better way, in my opinion, to trade technical analysis. There just isn't, in my opinion. I've been doing this for 20 years. It should be coming up 20 years now. Okay, so we break out into stage 2. The green dots hold the entire time. And this is what happens in these parabolic moves. This is why they're so valuable. A lot of times in previous markets, I simply just rode this. And because I was in so much profit, I just took profit as soon as the dot stopped, right? So that's another technique. You guys have to come up with how you are going to manage your risk. And again, a lot of times when there's a big move for me and I'm in a lot of profit, I'm not greedy. I don't mind exiting that trade with green dot stopping, okay, completely out of the trade, big positions, okay? So again, here's stage 2, and now we go into the stage 3 basing pattern. But this basing pattern is just like the basing pattern right here. And you can see why it shakes so many people out of the market, right? Even this was agonizing. When this came and we had such a volatile stage 3, this is really taking so many people out of the market. It's worse than any stage 4 I've seen, because people just can't make up their minds whether they are confident in the market or they think the market is over. And the truth of the matter is, this is what stage 3s are meant to do. Okay, so that's where I believe we are, guys. We're in a messy stage 3 because crypto is much more volatile than other assets. And this is why you see it's a bit harder to define the stage 3. And this is when Peter Brandt drew this megaphone. And I said to myself, that really makes sense in the stage 3. So that's what we have here. We have consolidation that's contracting into a real point that's going to give us clarity. Either it breaks out to the upside or the downside. It's my opinion that it's going to break to the upside. That's what I'm waiting for. Even if we have a little bit more downside action, it's what all my other framework leads me to believe that is not technical analysis, right? At the end of the day, I follow TA. That's price action. There's nothing better, but there are things that you can watch for. Okay, there are things that you can watch for. So let's look at this. We got liquidity data. If you guys have been following me, you know I very much believe that liquidity is a factor. Just unlike other people, I believe that liquidity does take a while to go through the system and to end up in the markets, okay? I've heard other people think that it happens right away, but from what I've seen, it takes a minute. So now let's look at this liquidity data and let's look to see if we're improving or not. You can see here that we've had the stage 4 downtrend here. The red dots are going. And of course, we had that uptick. Everyone got excited. Green dots, and then we pulled back here, right? And everyone kind of lost faith. But I don't think that's the right thing to do, because if you look at previous cycles, look at this. Stage 4 downtrend, we pop up, everyone is bullish, and look, we pop down with red dots right before the real move. happened there. Let's look at the next cycle. Stage 4 downtrend popped up. Everyone thought we were going, and then look at this one, right? This was COVID. This was April, right before March, right after March. This was COVID. So really nasty shakedown before the real move, okay, in 21 that we just saw. So now what do we have? Stage 4, everyone's positive, then it comes down. The previous 2 cycles did this fake out as well, guys. So it rhymes really well. And if you can look here, I haven't shown you this before. This is actually my framework that I share on Discord, on the VIP Discord, that does come with the indicators in the alpha bundle. So if you want to see more of my work as I go, I do it every couple months, every 2 to 3 months. I'll look at the framework and alter it. But this is right in my green zone. Okay, this is right at the bottom of my green zone, and we are seeing an uptick. We are now seeing an uptick. So I'm hoping that continues and stays within the green zone. And this will take about a month or 2 to play out and end up in the markets, which would be perfect right now because September is usually historically a horrible month. If you look at September during election cycles since 1928, I think 85% of them were huge drawdown months. And the biggest drawdown was in the first couple weeks of September. Okay, so everything is lining up. Do you see what I'm looking at, guys? And then, of course, the blue zone, this usually pulls down to the blue zone at some point and then continues upward. Okay, you can see here's my basing zone. We're basing my stage 2 uptrend. This is what I've drawn these 2 channels for. And then eventually we get to the danger zone where it can continue going up, but at some point you're going to see liquidity drop off. Okay, so that's it for my liquidity framework. We're kind of going over here. I told you guys we're almost going over that. I have a lot to show y'all. Let's look at Solana. Okay, moving off from Bitcoin. I know a lot of you guys like to trade the alts. This is my favorite alt, which is no secret. It's got a huge position in Solana. And you can see this is the monthly chart, which looks very, very interesting. We have this pattern here. And guys, if you want to, I'm having a little contest. So if you want the alpha trend, if you go to my page here on the last tweet, okay, I did ask you guys to give me a breakdown of what this pattern was. If you go there and you break down how this pattern works, what we're looking for, I am giving away an alpha trend. Okay, so you can do that there. But talking more about this here, okay, this is a cup and handle, which is a bullish pattern. I won't go into the details. I'll let you guys read the comments for those of you that want to do a little homework. But it's a very, very bullish pattern. Now, the caveat is that they say that when you pull down for the cup, for the handle, it shouldn't go too far down. And that's why I like this support here. If it breaks below here and it closes below here, I'm going to delineate this pattern. But for now, this actually looks really, really good to me on Solana. And now I'm going to show you another setup on Solana. So now we've looked at the monthly chart, the real king of the macro time frames. Okay. Now let's pull down to the weekly chart and get a little bit more technical. So what am I looking here on the weekly chart, guys? I've taken off all the dots, all the track lines, all the reversals, all the bottom signals, and I've just left the volatility indicators. Okay, so let's look how this plays out. Squeeze shading, letting you know a violent move is coming. Little green arrow says a potential breakout. Then you get the big green arrow, and that's the big daddy move. Okay, what happens after that? We pull down, we form another squeeze shading. Guys, this was a move from around $38 that went all the way up to $250. I mean, that's ridiculous. Okay, in the time frame of from August 21 to November 21. Then we get another squeeze shading here. Violent move is coming. We've already gone through stage 3. Here's stage 2. Here's stage 3. We know what this is. Stage 4 comes, and we drop from that squeeze shading from the arrow from 132 all the way to a low of 28. Okay, you can't get signals better than these guys. Okay, so it drops all the way down. It starts to consolidate again. Okay, we're thinking, okay, this could be stage 1. Is it stage 1? Squeeze shading. Okay, breakout out to the downside. Doesn't even get close to breaking out into stage 2. Can you see why this framework married with the indicators is the best way to judge what's happening and to decide on what you want to do as far as your management goes? All right, and this doesn't look like much, but this squeeze shading and drop down from $32 all the way to, I think, $15. It cut it in half, 50% drawdown there. After this gave us the signal for a huge drawdown. Okay, so then what happens? Squeeze shading here, breakdown arrow. This brings us from $21 all the way to a low of $13, almost cut in half, almost another 50% haircut, and you got the signal beforehand. Okay, there was no breakout to the upside. Why am I saying this, guys? Because look here. We're having another squeeze shading. And I know it's near the bottom, but that means nothing. It's a very volatile asset, squeeze shading asset. If this pulls up to the top and has a breakout arrow, I think that confirming this cup and handle is not going to be an issue. All right. And then on the larger time frame, the monthly, then we have this play out. So can you see the possibility here? You have a squeeze shading on the weekly, and you have a cup and handle that is looking to confirm from that squeeze shading on the monthly. So that is fantastic. Okay, I'm running out of time, guys, here. Let's go switch to the NASDAQ. Okay, for those of you that are in stocks, and then we'll go and find a little setup on crypto for the screener. For those of you that are in stocks, guys, I love the NASDAQ. It's 50% weighted in the technology sector. I think with AI narrative that we have to obviously make work for us to fix the productivity, I think that this is a very good risk versus reward asset. The QQQs are an ETF of the NASDAQ. They mimic the ETF. It's they mimic the NASDAQ. Best way to play it, in my opinion. What I'm looking for is we had this drawdown here. We came up, and around this week over here, I drew this little white line and said I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little double bottom. Or because it's volatile, just like crypto, I wouldn't be surprised even if we have a higher leg, okay, almost like we're having here, and then confirm it. Now, this is the good thing about TA. You wait for the confirmation. You don't got to really know what's happening ahead. You just got to know about what the possibilities are. So either we have a confirmation here, and it's a double bottom with a shorter second leg, or we have a real double bottom and we come up. So I'm looking to play this and add to my position. I've been in the NASDAQ for a very long time. It's a good thing to average into. But that's what I'm looking here at the NASDAQ for. I'm looking for a double bottom play, again, with either a shorter leg or to pull down here and give us an actual technical old school double bottom with a confirmation, which comes with a green dot either after we see the pattern, or we might even get a bottom signal as well with a green dot following. So that's what I'm looking for on the NASDAQ, guys. Now let's switch to the trading alpha screener. Before I do this, guys, I want to let you know that this is the alpha bundle, and I am going to have a flash sale on Monday. Okay, so when Monday comes, meaning that I'm only going to have a sale for one day, I'm going to do 25% off, and I'm probably going to do 50 people maximum. Guys, this will sell out in probably the first 10 minutes. Okay, you probably don't know this, but we have around 6,000 members right now on Trading Alpha. So watch for Monday. If you are interested in the indicators, everything I've shown you with the VIP access and everything, make sure you click on the comment section. You see that link where to get the indicators. You click that link, and on Friday, I will give you guys a discount code for 25%. It will be valid for 24 hours with 50 spots. You can either go to my Twitter and go watch for that discount code, or I'm also going to give it to Scott to share with you the day before. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, let's do one more scan here with the screener, the Trading Alpha screener, also a product from Trading Alpha. We'll do cryptocurrencies. Since nothing has happened in a while and it's been down, let's go for 4 hours. Let's look for a change that just happened. And let's look for some bottom, confirm bottom. So we're going to click confirm bottoms. It's going to scout it for us. We'll go all the way up to 20, give it some room to give us some assets, and let's see what we got here. All right, so we got 3. Let's look at this one here. Never heard of it before. Probably a lower cap asset. All right, guys, and look at that. So we have a stage 4 downtrend all the way. We now have a basing pattern, stage 1 going sideways. We have our squeeze shading, breakout to the upside on green dots. It looks like it has a little bit of a resistance to get through. And let's see what's holding this back. Is it right here? Yeah, it looks to be right there. It's just that resistance there. So this is your stage 1 basing, guys. You've already got a breakout arrow and green dots. We're waiting to break out into stage 2. You can either count the breakout from the resistance or above the track line. Either one should yield you very good results unless the whole market continues to go down again with Bitcoin. Okay, so if it holds, this might actually be a good setup. So watch for that one. It's FWFTC USD. And again, I found this on the screener. This is how easy it is, guys. All right, we're already running over time here, guys. So that's it for today. If you want these tools, again, head to the comment section, click on that link, and that's where you get the Alpha bundle. And then also watch out for Monday when we have that 25% discount. It does not come often. We'll have it Monday, and then again, most likely on Black Friday. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching the Trading Alpha Show, and I'll catch you next Wednesday. Cheers.
Let's go.